given Gracie a break, and Peter and I are going to conclude this part of it. And I think we've demystified most things about pastries today. We've shown you how, or we've tried to explain to you how phyllo pastry is made, but a very, very exhausting process that you might not want to try at home.
Definitely
That's why
not.
we have store-bought, purchase it rather. And we've shown you how to use it. I've told you how to use it. And then puff pastry is also one of the ones that we were talking about earlier on, showing you how to make those beautiful chocolate nut croissants, as well as those jam Danish pastries. And then we also showed you how to make this, a short crust pastry, which involves flour and butter that is chilled that you're going to crumb, and then after that, what liquid did you say you add to that? An egg.
Yeah.
And after that, you're going to roll it out nice and flat.
And normally just some ice cold water, like maybe 30 mils or so.
Yeah. After rolling it nice and flat, you're going to get that into your fridge, and then you're going to be blind baking it so that it forms this beautiful short crust like that. Now, what to do with it?
Okay, so what we're going to be using the Clover vanilla flavored custard.
Excellent.
Okay, so we start in the pan, pot pan, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of melted butter.
Yeah.
Some corn flour.
Okay.
Give that a little bit of a stir. Whenever you're doing any flour, always just cook it out. Otherwise, it's going to have that raw flour taste.
Okay. So what are we making in there? What is that?
In classical terms, they would call it a roux, which just means equal quantities of flour and butter.
Excellent stuff.
Okay, so once that's gone down, now we add our amazing...
oh, wow, into a... Okay. There we go. Okay, you can SMS the keyword BAKE to 33728.
Okay, so...
it's Clover, excuse me. Clover to 33728.
So that we're just going to whisk in. We're going to bring it up to the heat. It's going to thicken up a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, but we take that off for now.
So it's gonna give your, because obviously custard is quite a, I mean, if you talk about the viscosity of the liquid.
Right.
Quite fine, if you want to call it that. So adding the flour there is going to thicken it up, so that it doesn't necessarily penetrate through the pastry.
And if we had the beautiful Grace on here, she would explain the whole difference between a creme pat and a creme anglaise.
Creme anglaise. I'll tell you what, we'll record a video of Grace explaining that after this, and then we'll post it up onto our Facebook page.
How beautiful that custard looks.
That is beautiful.
Okay, another little tip is if you want to get that nice and smooth, get some hot water and then just dip your spoon in it. And you can be able to lay it, but we're not going to do that now, so we're going to take a little bit of granadella. Always one of my favorites.
There we go. Be creative. Let your creativity flow.
Okay.
And you can feel free to kind of just, let it do its thing. And I'm sure there's a variance of fruits that you could use as well. You could even go savory if you wanted to.
But I think, like everything nowadays, make sure it's seasonal.
Yeah.
Seasonal, local, and it's always going to be better. Okay, so that's all on that side.
And while you do that, of course, Clover custard, classic custard, is known for being the creamy taste that really takes you back. And it's smooth, it's creamy, it's delicious. That custard that has a unique recipe and is a source of vitamin A, B2, and vitamin D as well. And of course, custard reminds us that family spending time, quality time together, that's what the nostalgia is all about. That's what we
grew up
look
on that,
forward
didn't
to.
we?
Yeah, exactly.
And
if you feel like spoiling your family out there, make it into a little lunchbox treat, if you will. Friends will love it as well. Oh, look at what you've done there. That's Instagram ready. I like what you've done there, Peter. All right. I actually want to taste a little bit of this because I've never tasted the custard that has with.
Just thick.
I love the thicker context of the custard. Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much, Peter. We really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
And you can, of course, SMS Clover to 33728, and we'll send you a link to the recipe, and you can make your own beautiful Clover custard short crust pastry. If you want to see how we made it, take a look at this quickly.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
In the mood for something fruity, colourful and sweet? Thanks to Clover, you can make this Clover Classic Custard Winter Tart in a jiffy. Add 200 grams of cake flour to a sieve, along with 85 grams of icing sugar, 50 grams almond flour, and sift together in a bowl. Add 120 grams cubed and frozen Clover butter. Then rub it all together until you've got a breadcrumb consistency. Next, add 1 egg yolk, a tablespoon of Clover fresh full cream milk, and a pinch of salt. Then combine again to form a dough. Wrap the dough in cling film and pop in the fridge for 30 minutes. Roll the dough to about 1/2 centimeter thickness. Then place it in an oven-proof tart dish and press down to cover the surface and edges. Using a fork, prick the dough. Cover with foil and add dried beans to blind bake for about 15 minutes. In the meantime, combine 1 tablespoon of corn flour with 1 tablespoon cubed clover butter and whisk to combine. Pour 750 ml of Clover Classic custard into a saucepan and heat over a medium heat. Pour some of the warm custard into the corn flour mixture and whisk to combine. Before whisking it back into the remainder of the warm custard, spread the custard mixture over the cool biscuit base. Then decorate with your favorite seasonal berries. Being a pastry queen or king is as easy as pie, so why not give this delicious and creamy Clover Classic Winter Tart a try tonight?
Made with love by Clover.
Definitely worth trying tonight. SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list so that you can make your own at home. Surprise the family tonight. I think they would love that, wouldn't they, Gracie?
Ooh, absolutely.
All right, listen, we're going to be opening up our page to questions regarding all things pastries, and we're going to be asking them to Grace and Peter a little bit later on in the next segment of our culinary hotline playing
Ting, ting, ting!
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.